Welcome, everyone, to episode 70 of Just Joshing. Happy New Year 2017 to each and every one of you. I am your host, Joshua Pentellaresco. I write stuff and I podcast too, and we're going to begin the new year this year with a bit of a bang. This is a new format. There's going to be hopefully less ums, but that's, how I talk when I do these shows. Yeah, so this is going to be a bit shorter. I have my first commercial done, so you're going to hear that. It's going to be a little bit different. Like I said, I got some big goals this year, but before I talk about some of that real quick, I would love you guys to subscribe to my newsletter. My newsletter is at tinyletter.com/jpentellaresco, JPANTALLERESCO. I talk about exclusive stuff there, like my most recent attempt at being blackmailed from somebody. I'll get to that probably at this week's newsletter. It's actually pretty fun. Yeah, it's weird how I could say my blackmail is actually with good fun, but it's true. My guest today is Thea van Diepen. It's actually appropriate for the day that she's my guest because, she's one of my favorite people, first and foremost. So, Thea, if you're listening to this, yeah, I still think you're one of my favorite people. But second, this is right before she left for her world tour. She's on a world tour right now. She's currently in Europe as of this time. And she's just doing it because she wants to do it. And I respect the hell out of her for this. It's always good. She's one of, I'll say this and before I move on with what I think about this year. She's one of those people I'm really glad to have met. Not for any particular reason other than the fact that it's somebody I just feel that is incredibly driven, incredibly motivated, and is a really good writer. I'm actually currently reading like Mist Over Eyes, which was on Kickstarter. I say a lot of nice things on this podcast about her, so take a quick listen. But anyway, I also just completed my first blog in a while. My blog has moved to jpentellaresco, as spelled a tiny letter, JPANTALLERESCO.wordpress.com. I went back to the free site simply because for me, at this moment in time, a free site was more than adequate for what I need to do. I got some work to do on the site from here on in. I'll be contacting some people in the days and weeks to come, probably for the springtime for my first book coming out probably in late spring, early summer. But I have a lot of goals this year in 2017. You go read the blog, my most recent blog. It's called Just One Word. I have a big list of goals, and I'm hoping, if you're listening to this, you too have a lot of goals. A lot of times people just settle for things like I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You know what? Seriously, I'm hoping every single person listening to this show finds in themselves, okay, what's something you really want to do? Something you just haven't done that you really want to do. Do it. If you look at my list, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of professional things. There's some personal things. There's a lot, and even now there's a lot more on this list than there used to be. So I keep trying to find things to do. I'm probably not going to achieve all of them, but that's not the point. It's about who you want to be. And the fact is, to become who you want to be, you have to do the things that you see that person doing. And that's kind of the challenge as creators we have to face. So I wish everybody listening to this an awesome new year. I hope whatever you set out to achieve, you do it and you rock. All right. We're going to see the first of the new commercials today. You're going to see a different commercial every day. Every podcast, I should say, for a little bit until I get the right rhythm and stuff. But let me know what you think. All right. Here's the commercial, then on to Thea van Diepen. Safria Book Reviews called The Watcher a unique blending of fantasy and post-apocalyptic poetry, which indeed it is, for The Watcher is an epic poem about a slave boy who kills his dragon masters and goes into a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It is a story of the fall of man and the human heart. With adding gorgeous illustrations by Flores Chan, you have a book that is good for kids and for the kids at heart. It's available at Amazon.com, MirrorWorldPublishing.com, and wherever else books are sold. So, I'm just here with Thea van Diepen, and you've heard her quite a bit in last year, and it's been great, but this is going to be the last time you hear her on the podcast for a while.
Like a year.
Like a year.
A year.
1 year.
Wow.
I know. But you are breaking GW Renshaw's record for being on the podcast the most.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's going to be at 3. You're at 3 right now, including the hosting things. This will be your your second time as a guest. But you also...
I totally thought I've been a guest like twice before I interviewed you.
You've been interviewed by me before in other means, but not on the podcast. Podcast, you were a 2-parter.
Oh. I totally thought that there was like... Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. Do you really care at this time of night?
Well, kind of.
She's going to pull this random fact at me, like literally when I put the podcast on, she will be in Iceland or Czechoslovakia or the Czech Republic or Russia, and she'll be like, this bothers me.
There's only one of those countries that's actually on my list.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dear. Anyways.
So she says now, but she's going to go on this grand adventure. It's going to take her in directions she never planned.
Yeah.
And she's going to wander into these foreign lands and go, that bastard was right. And she's like, but he was wrong about the podcast stuff. So she's going to send me the...
I'll just be like, everything is like exactly like you said, except the podcast. Excellent. I'm going to send it to him, and he's going to know he's right about everything else, but at least I'll be right about this.
That's right.
That's what matters.
See, this is just where I know her very well. So, let's see.
Oh, dear.
So, why a decision to go around the world? I start there.
Okay, originally, so I have a friend in Germany who was here when I was in junior high, and she was at the same school that I was, because she was doing like a year. She graduated, but she was doing like still some school afterwards for a year for no apparent reason. And I ended up going up to her and asking, like, would you teach me some German? So she ended up giving me German lessons, and we ended up becoming friends. And she has come to visit here like twice, and she's like in the enviable position of being someone who doesn't actually get affected by jet lag.
Damn it.
I know, right? Like, man, I want your superpower. But yeah, and then so she's like, you should come visit me, and I'm like, yes, I want to come visit you. And so finally, when I was thinking about like after I graduated from university, I'm just like, I'm gonna take 2 years off. I'm gonna take 1 year off to work, and the next year off I'm gonna travel. And this way I will finally get to go and visit my friend in Germany. And all kinds of other people.
All right. So this has turned to an odyssey.
Yes.
So
I'm so excited.
You should be. This is awesome. I haven't done this. It's something I haven't done that I've always kind of wanted to do. It just, for me, the time has never been right. Just as, if that makes sense. And you...
Makes sense.
And you are getting this opportunity now. So, you scared?
Yes.
Why are you scared?
Oh gosh, like it's this big, huge question mark, unknown blob. I have not bought my first Greyhound ticket.
And?
I need to do that.
You probably should.
Probably.
But it's okay. It's Greyhound. It's not a big deal. Although there's so you'll be for some rude awakenings when you get stateside, but
it's Oh, I know it's gonna be. I don't exactly know how crazy it's gonna be, but I know it's gonna be.
It won't be as crazy as my LA. I'm hoping.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be as crazy. Oh yeah, that's where we're hoping. So my LA, it goes like this. I literally get off the plane because I had a choice. I could go to Denver or go to LA. Now LA appealed to me. He's like, hey, I've never been there. That was a mistake. Oh, was that a mistake?
Oh dear.
First and foremost, my taxi cab drive in LA was more expensive than both my flight and my bus to Phoenix, Arizona.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's mind-boggling. Yes.
Why?
Yeah, because I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. My flight
yeah,
was cheaper than my cab ride. That is, and my bus, my Greyhound bus. Now, my story. So my cab driver goes to me first and foremost because I thought we were going to the other Greyhound station. There's two. He's like, no way, there's only one. No, there's two. And he was like, you know what? I got to find out. There was two. But the thing was, the second one was just for drivers. Warning sign number 1. Warning sign number 2. Warning sign number 2 is the driver's like, you sure you want to go here? That filled me with confidence. So, the cab driver, when I get off, goes to me, okay, listen, you stay in the station. There's undercover cops there to make sure that nobody kills you. Don't go accept any ride with strangers.
Oh dear.
Oh, this gets better. Don't accept rides with strangers. Oh yeah. Don't accept rides with strangers.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't go outside. Now, you get a look at these people, and these are some rough-looking people. I mean, they look like the kind of people that you wouldn't want to be locked any of them by yourself. They're just that rough, tough, mean, and stuff. On the plus side, I could have got some really good jewelry, no tax.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh. If you haven't lived, you see a peddler come out, open his jacket, and you see all this gold on him.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Only hilarious part about that trip, because much like every poverty-stricken area, you can actually see the wealthy areas in the vicinity, and you just realize that you have no shot, none, of making it to there. Because the moment you step outside, I'm the wrong color. I am the wrong type. Like I said, they probably wouldn't kill me.
I like how you have to add probably to that.
I do.
Fun.
Yes. Sexy. That was my LA experience. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm glad I'm not going to LA.
Yeah. Oh, I warned my friend. She's a traveler that you'll hate LA. I was like, you'd like the rest of California, but you'd hate LA. It's too big. And that's kind of like the impression I got. It's like it's just too big. I wouldn't go back now. That all said, love San Diego. Love the rest of California is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be taking a Greyhound to Sacramento, but I won't actually be staying in Sacramento. I'm going to be in Lincoln and Nevada City, which is called Nevada City, but it's in California.
Okay.
Whatever. So yeah, I'm going to be staying like out in kind of like smaller places, which is going to be nice because it's like after like I'll be in Seattle before then, so it's like Seattle City, and I'll be like Lincoln and Nevada City, and it's like going to be smaller, and I will like that.
So and then you're going to go across the states. Is there anywhere in particular in the states you're looking forward to seeing?
Yes.
And
That's all of them.
I know you've been in Alabama. We've talked about that before. How much of the states have you seen prior to that?
Well, we drove to Alabama, and then every year in the summer we would have to drive back up to the border so that like visa stuff could happen. So, I mean, I've driven through a lot. In terms of like vacation stuff, we did go to see like Niagara Falls on both sides. We did go to like Amish country in Ohio. One year I have a friend who lives in Cincinnati, and I went to visit her for a week during university one year. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Ohio's a cool place.
Yeah. Got to see some cool stuff. Got to see a cool church. Like yeah, and I mean, aside from that, it's mostly Alabama. Aside from.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, just an idea of what you've seen.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm Michigan, Detroit. So I've seen the good and bad there.
Oh, another place I've been to because my grandparents and like aunts and uncles on my mom's side of the family live in like Abbotsford area, which is really close to the border, right?
Yep.
So there was like I remember as a kid, like my grandpa liked to go to this one place to fish that was across the border. So he took us a couple of times across the border so we could go fishing at this random place
awesome.
in Washington, and then drive back with our fish.
Why not? I would do that too.
Yeah.
Really, the border by and large is an imaginary line. So, at least up in the Canada States.
Yeah. When you've got like the longest undefended border in the entire world, that's basically how it works. Yeah.
Yes, it's an imaginary line.
Except when we're talking about linguistics. Okay, in the Great Lakes area in the States, there is a vowel shift that's happening, and it has basically happened. So, okay, in Middle English, like Chaucer period, that was I forget now, just before or just after the great vowel shift that happened in English. So all the long vowels kind of moved around, really. and none of the short vowels did. But in the Great Lakes area in the States, the short vowels are undergoing their own vowel shift. But it happens right up to the border, but it doesn't cross it. In Canada and the Great Lakes area, it's not happening at all. Which is like the coolest thing ever. Like,
what do you think attributes to that? If you had to make a guess, what's happening?
Well, it's difference in culture and language and like okay, one of the ways in which Canadians describe ourselves as is not Americans. So as soon as a thing is happening, like it's like right across the border might be like, you know, like 30 minutes drive or less, but you're not American. So you're not gonna talk like the Americans do. You're gonna talk like a Canadian.
Unless you live in Windsor or Sarnia or somewhere like that, because at that point it's just too close. I mean, I lived in Windsor, lived in Detroit. Mm-hmm. There is like from a language, there's a difference. But honestly, if you live in Detroit, you work in Windsor. If you live in Windsor, you work in Detroit. It's not like it's just such a common thing that it's not. It's a border town, right? So.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like, there might be, like, border town type idea, but, like, in general, if you're talking about the language of the region, like, the Great Lakes area, it's just in the States. So this is a thing.
Yeah, I know. Huh. It's interesting. Yeah. Next time I go to Detroit, which will be soon, I will actually examine said thing, because... That's right, because Miss Thea made me look at the language stuff. Well, I try to go there once a year, because my family's there. That's, like, this is the biggest reason I still go, is that otherwise I wouldn't go at all. My family's there and I love them. I like Windsor. I really like Windsor, but Detroit, there's nothing for me. And the rest of Ontario at this point, I would like some old friends I'd like to catch up with every now and then, but by and large, I don't have a place there anymore, and it's. But again, not a bad thing. I've moved on, and people have their lives, and. You know, I'll come back there one day with like doing a book signing, to corrupting the minds of my friends as youth. that I feel like is the most appropriate revenge of all.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. She laughs, but she knows it's true.
I do know it's true.
Yes.
I totally do that.
Yeah, I was like, what? I would encourage them ideas like think for themselves and take that realistic shit down the toilet. And
oh no.
Well, it's funny because I like just my evolution. The older I get, the more I ask myself, you know, what really is real? And I mean, I mean.
Oh gosh, I had a whole philosophy class on that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. And
it was like not only what is real, but how do we know?
Yes,
and you put those two together, and you just start you start tearing down the foundations of both of them at once. And, like, if you're not careful, you end up with students getting depressed, like, actually depressed in the summer. Because they're like, oh, I don't know anything and nothing. What if nothing is real? And it's like... Well, no, I disagreed with how the prof handled the class. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
Fascinating material. I just didn't like how she did it.
Well, see, here's the thing. Because I hear the argument already kind of in my head. I went something like this. The only real measurement you have for what is real are your senses. You see what you feel, what you touch. No?
No, I broke that down.
Oh, no. That's the first step. The second step is, since all those stimuli can be manipulated, you have no idea that the stimuli you're feeling really exists. That's when that's the plot too.
Yeah. We went through like Descartes' thing.
I think therefore I am.
Yeah, but that's his first step in regaining, because it's what it actually is. Is part of a larger argument towards, where he's talking about arguing for the existence of God. The first thing he does is he breaks everything down, completely down, and then he builds it back up. And I think Therefore I Am is one of like the major building blocks in him building it back up.
I actually broke down the argument to just 2 sentences. There is more versus this is all there is. When you break the whole argument down, right? I'll tell you why. She's like, I'm not completely convinced, but it's an.
I would add a third.
Okay, we'll get to your third.
Okay.
But the argument for there is more. The idea. I think it's cool. The idea that we can acknowledge that our senses can be manipulated. It makes us constantly question all the time what we are seeing, what we are hearing, what we are like. That is a good thing. because it forces us to always not only re-examine but to grow in and finding our assurances in our faith, right? I believe in God. It's not really a big secret, but it's just that's the thing. There's more. This is all there is. Honestly, that's the truly depressing argument, because that's the argument that says that this is as far as we've come. We can go no further, and that's when reality really breaks down. Because that now you're like, well, we have this construct, but then as you go deeper, but you can't deny that your stuff can be manipulated. So then all of a sudden it goes ka-chunk, 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 and then just that's when you get depressed.
Well, actually, there's a third option.
Oh, I like the let's hear it.
Yeah. The third option is that nothing is real, and we're all deluding ourselves, which is even more depressing.
See, I would argue that fits under this is all there is. No?
Not philosophical, because this is all there is implies that this, what we look at what we're experiencing, is actually real. Whereas the third one is like, it's actually not.
Yeah.
And we're just like living in a shared delusion. Not even the delusion is nothing.
I know.
Right?
Except the human mind can't actually grasp something, so we're deluding ourselves because it's our way of coping with it. Yeah.
Which is in itself is like meaningless, because we don't exist. None of it exists.
Exactly.
Which is kind of stupid in my mind. I mean, like, there's a lot of smart people that are like, this is the thing, and I'm like, yeah, guys, this nothing that you're talking about is quite organized and quite like something.
You know, there are numbers. I mean, I'm just saying, there's just numbers that they do interesting math.
Well, I think the thing too is like, if it's all a shared delusion, or even it may not even be a shared delusion.
No, it's not.
Right, like all of that. But like, if it's all delusion, then it's like, so who's having the delusion?
Yeah.
That kind of almost implies that at least somebody exists.
Yes.
Right.
Well, why have an illusion at all if nothing's real? When you really sit there and think about it, you wouldn't need it. There's no point. The only reason you have illusion is if you're hiding something. It's the only really good reason, anyway. And I'm like,
well,
the question is, who's hiding? Is it yourself or is it something else?
Yeah, well, and if you're having the idea of a delusion is like, it's something versus something else. It's not. It hurts brains, because it's like, it doesn't actually make sense, and it's like too late for me to like try to explain why it might make sense to somebody who isn't me.
That's fine, Miss. That's okay. I'm tired and cranky, and
I'm a little cranky about just that class.
No, it's fair. It's fair. No, it's interesting, because I deal with philosophy guys, and it's just like, I listen to them sometimes. I'm like, I'm glad I never took philosophy.
I didn't mind. It was the philosophy of ethics class that I took.
Yeah.
That was quite interesting.
Yes.
I really liked like a lot of the concepts in there. Like made it like, I was like, oh no, that makes really that actually is a useful tool for looking at ethics and morality. I was a little irritated by the fact that the very first thing we talked about in class was like God and divine being as the basis for morality, whatever divine being. And then it was like, what was it? One of the arguments, there's a few arguments against that being a thing, and one of them was like, well, it's just like really kind of whimsical kind of idea where it's like, God can just say whatever he wants is right or wrong. And I'm just like sitting there and I'm just like, no, guys, no. Like, by this point I'm tired. By then it was just like my first time hearing that stuff, and I was like, what? Because, okay, if you think about it this way, you talk about God creating the universe, logical, orderly universe that we see. So he's a logical, orderly God. And then he knows how the universe works and how things work when they're at their best. And so when he is giving laws about stuff, he's saying, if you follow this, things will work at their best. It's not whimsical, it's not fickle. It doesn't change with his moods. It's actually a part of the fabric of how, like, if you had a piece of software and you tell somebody, like, if you want to make this happen, here are the steps you go to do it, and somebody goes and tries to make it using a whole bunch of different steps, and it's not working, and it's like, yes, because the software doesn't actually work like that. Same thing with the universe. Like, God's like, here's how the universe works. You operate within these laws, then it will work the way that is best for you. And then people are like, oh, no, I'm going to do it this way. Oh my gosh, God, how come it's not working? Like, you're such an idiot. And he's just like, no, I told you how this works. You went and did something different, and that's why it's not working.
Sure.
It's like you put sugar in your car instead of gas. That is why your engine is now totally dead.
Sugar in the gas tank, huh?
Yeah. So that like that thing that like the rest of it was great, but it was like that part irritated me where I was like, and like nobody. It was a first year class, and the thing about first year classes is that none of the students really like really challenges what the profs are saying, because they're like, oh, university, the profs know everything, right? And I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, I want somebody to say something, because my thoughts weren't formed enough for me to like really go with it and start that conversation. And I wish I had, because it could have been a cool conversation.
Oh, I got to do that in high school.
Nice.
No, the ancient civilizations dealt with, and also grade 13, when I had grade 13.
Oh, you did grade 13. Oh,
I did, yeah, law. Talked about all that stuff too.
Nice.
No, like I was fortunate. I was literally the last year of that, the social sciences being as diverse as they were, and they've slowly shrunk that down. So now that doesn't happen until people get to college, which is which is unfortunate, because just like critical thinking is just not where it should be.
Grammar.
Okay.
One of the requirements of an arts degree is doing 2 classes in a second language, or a language other than English is how they put it, because it might be your second, it might be your third, it might be your fifth. And one of the things that they didn't actually used to have to teach in those classes was grammar. But now a lot of students come in and they don't know what a noun is, and they don't know what a verb is. Like that simple basic, they don't know what those are, and so then the teachers have to teach people what those are.
Which is a waste at a college level, because at a college level you should know that. It is a waste. Yeah. Because
it's like you're here to learn German, you're here to learn French, you're here to learn Urdu, you're here to learn whatever, not to learn grammar, but we have to teach it to you, because otherwise you don't know. Which is the nice thing though, is there's books out like English Grammar for Students of French is a book. It's a good one. I always like, if anybody's talking about they're having a hard time with French, like grammar and just grammar in general, I'm like, get this book. It's wonderful. It will explain all the things you need to know.
Nice.
Yes.
So, wow. So we went from your road trip to the creation of the universe. Pretty cool conversation right there.
We're going places.
We are going places, lots of them. So we go to the Big Bang. We go to the world's end. I guess we gotta go to the We Too Are Stardust part of this as well.
The what?
We Too Are Stardust. Never heard that?
I think I have.
Yeah.
Oh, Carl Sagan.
Yeah. We Too Are Stardust.
Okay, there we go. Got it.
Yes. We Too Are. Yeah. Okay. So, because I promised you we'd do a short conversation tonight.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is why I didn't think we'd get there, because we go off topic and we pretend. But that's the best thing about it, is we like, even when we're just Skyping for shits and giggles, we can go for an hour. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Easy. And not even waste time. So I'm going to say this on here. I'm going to miss you.
Aww.
I really am going to miss you. It has been a pleasure to watch you. It really has. It's been a pleasure to watch you develop. It's been a pleasure to see you take some more chances, and I'm looking forward. The person I see here is an amazing person. I'm gonna see if I can make you blush again. No one else.
Oh gosh, no, stop.
No. Nah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I am looking forward to meeting the person when that comes back to me a year from now, because she's probably more amazing than she is now. You should see how red she is, ladies and gentlemen.
My face gets red really easily, actually.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you really are red. Yeah, absolutely. I just wasn't gonna let you cover up anymore.
I'd been covering up, just because you guys can't see this, I'd been covering up my face, and then he just goes and puts my hands down, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Good idea. So, let's do one last thing before you go.
Yes.
Your new book's out.
Yeah, the Kickstarter, it worked. Yes, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And my book's out.
Yes. So, for those of us that aren't aware, actually I'm going to make you do this before we go.
Oh no. I think I know what you want me to do.
Pitch your series, Thea.
Pitch my series, yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Why would you be surprised I'd go anywhere else other than this?
I'm at the expo and he was like telling me how to pitch hidden in sealskin better, and it was great and it was helpful, but it was just like I've been pitching like all day.
Yes, but you get the pitch for the after tomorrow. You're not going to be pitching anymore for a long time. So
this is true.
Yeah,
this is true. So I might as well like have this and then do the thing.
Yeah.
I will admit right now I'm totally wasting time talking about this like this. Okay, so I have a series. It's called The White Changeling series. The first book is Hidden in Sealskin, which is it's about the oddest couple in fantasy. Adrian is trying to get a cure for an insane unicorn, and in the process of that goes to steal a sealskin with the help of Nadin, awkward teenage boy who can see right through her. And the second book is Like Mist of the Eyes. That's the one that came out on the 19th. Woo! In that one, Adrian comes up against fairies, and Adrian has this belief that humans are basically evil, and that magical creatures are basically good, and these fairies are like really trying to mess with her, and she has a really hard time reconciling with that.
Fantasy versus reality. Her fantasy of how the world works or how the world is.
In a fantasy story.
Who knew?
It's like layers upon layers.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I heard you like fantasy, so I put fantasy in your fantasy.
So you're going to be talking about your road trip on your website?
Yes, I will be doing that.
So what's your website?
My website is theavandiepen.com.
Twitter?
Twitter is at Thea van Diepen.
Instagram?
I don't have Instagram.
Tumblr?
Tumblr. Oh, that one's not as consistently branded. That one is Irion Uib. So IRIONUIB.
Okay.
B as in beaver.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was the last time I spoke to her face to face. Thea's travel blog has actually been really good. If you get a chance, go to theavandiepen.com and look at some of the things she's written. One of my personal favorite ones, she actually wrote about jealousy on her road trip, and I thought that was actually one of the most enlightening things I've ever read about jealousy. I never looked at jealousy that way. It actually made a few people in my life a little easier to understand, and empathize with. I'm going to leave this air in because why the heck not? Yeah, like I said, and she's been going on this amazing trip. Her White Changing series is really good. You guys should check them out. Hidden in Sealskin's the first book. And I want to thank Thea for doing this. And yes, she will be on the podcast at some point when she comes back again. Until then, though, I wish her well. And like I said, I said this on the interview, I miss her. I really do. All right. And that is episode 70 of Just Joshing. Once again, I have a newsletter, tinyletter.com/jpentelresco. Sign up for it if you like. Check out my books. Check out my Redbubble. Like I said, this is a bit of a work in progress with the new format. There'll be a different commercial at episode 71, and eventually I'll flow into it. But as is, that is that. Everyone out there, stay inspired, do the things you're called to do, and make this year the best year you possibly can. All right? All right.
Josh.